Hello and welcome back to Mechanical Mastery. Today we're going to be taking a look at mechanism. We're going to be going a bit deeper into this mod pack, hopefully getting some of our automations more optimized and taking a look at ore processing. We are running quite low on some of our ores, and iron is definitely one of them. I did have to upgrade this machine here, so we got the flux linkage amplifiers in here, getting us a bit more iron. Because once we got the effigies up and running, we are making the essence here, and it is being pumped out. It is consuming a bit more iron, as well as our steel over here is consuming quite a bit of iron as well. So one thing over here, the steel, it is producing a bit slow. So the first thing I wanted to do was take a look at this crusher here. It should be something we're able to make once we get a bit of steel. So we should be able to steal some from here. Need one more piece. There we go. And we should be able to make a crusher. And the crusher is going to let us break down the osmium. Our sand should also be good. We also have some glass in here. So, crusher. Here we go. Steel casing. And we're going to need some lava buckets. So let's grab another bucket. We'll just make one up. And we should just be able to grab some lava from right over here. It's pretty much an infinite lava source for us right now. And we should be able to make the crusher. What we need this crusher for is the osmium, to make osmium dust. And right now, I think we will just hook it up with the universal cable, and we will just throw it right over here. I did take out one of the machines that was originally here to make space for this. So we should get power into here and start being able to crush up this osmium here, which will get us started with mechanism, because we are going to be making the speed upgrades as well as the energy upgrades. The gold dust we could definitely make, just require some gold. We'll actually take some of this raw gold ore, and we will pulverize this just to get this going. So we're definitely going to want to speed up at least the infusing factory, probably both of these. This is keeping up. Once it goes faster, it may not. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna need about they take 8 each, so we'll need 24 of the upgrades to upgrade all 3 of these. While that's going, we could take a look at the other stuff that I wanted to get started today, and that's going to be Flux Networks. It's about time that we got some wireless charging to our devices here. If you take a look, well, I have it in our slot here, but it is currently losing power as much whenever we use it, basically. So if we get a Flux network up and running, we can also make some Flux points and start to charge some of our machines wirelessly. That will start to make our base look a little bit less funny with just cables kind of running everywhere, and we can start to take out some of these cables where they're not needed. So that should start to clean things up for us a bit. We are also going to be looking at making our first compact machine. I want to get some power automated today, so we're going to need some polished deep slate. That's not hard to make. Should be able to make a bunch of it. And this thing is kind of cool. So it basically makes us a dimension. So if we go here, we'll need a block of diamond, and this is our machine here. But we are going to need a personal shrinking device, which we should be able to make. Let's make some blaze powder, eyes of ender. Perfect. We had 2 ender pearls. We need to make a book and glass pane. And here we go. So personal shrinking device. Now this, let's just get something to put it down on. Grab ourselves a stripped acacia log, and I think we'll just pop it down. I kind of want to put it back over here with this stuff. And here we go. So to use this, you have to right click it with the personal shrinking device, and we are now inside of a special dimension here. This will give us just basically this room to work with. You cannot break these other blocks that are here. And inside this room, I would like to set up our Power. So Power is a pretty powerful mod, which requires quite a lot. So if we take a look at Power, we're going to need to be getting some of these energizing rods up and running, as well as the energizing orb to start making some blazing crystals and our way up through the tiers here. We can also make power with Power. If we use some, I like to use the reactors. Let's see, Power reactor. Yeah, here we go. The reactors, they actually generate quite a bit of power. So if you take a look here, this one right here starts out at 1 million, and that's just a base. It stores 1 million and it generates 4K per tick, but that's just a base one. All the way up at the top, it actually can generate 2 million per tick. So they're pretty powerful. So that's something we're definitely going to want to be taking a look at in the near future here. To first get us started, we're going to be making this flux block here. We need to make one manually, so we're going to need to use some of our essence here, which we do have quite a bit of backlog. I did start sending it over to this machine. I didn't upgrade it. I wanted it to go slow, so it doesn't burn through all of our essence here. But we should be able to make one of these here, flux block. We just need some redstone blocks. We got 3 of those, and flux block. What else do we need? Obsidian dust. This shouldn't be too hard. An enrichment chamber. That's not too bad. We do have one. We'll just grab some of this. Actually, let's just grab a stack. And we'll just pop this through our enrichment chamber. May slow things down a bit for us. Ooh, can I get that in there quick enough? There we go. It may slow things down for us, and I will actually turn off auto eject just for this to go. And we should be able to grab this obsidian, and we'll let that go for quite a bit. And we'll make this flux block, and to get it going is actually quite interesting, the way you start getting flux. So we're actually going to need quite a bit of redstone, which we do have. That should be good for now. And we will make ourselves our flux block. So with the flux block, we're going to need some building blocks. Let's do some cobble. And we're going to need one more piece of obsidian. And with this piece of obsidian, we can build up 3 like this. And you place the obsidian down, and as long as your magnet's off, so turn your magnet off, throw the redstone down on top of the obsidian. One of them didn't make it up there, that's fine. And you should be able to punch this. Maybe it's the other way around. Let's block first. We'll drop our redstone. And obsidian, yeah, you punch it. And that whole fancy thing happens, and we get ourselves some flux dust. So as much redstone as you put in, you get a 1-to-1 ratio of that. It does take the obsidian, and we do get to keep our flux block, which is actually kind of nice. So we can recreate that later on. So I'll leave that right there for now. But now we can make more flux stuff. So we can make more flux blocks now easily with these flux cores. But we're going to start getting our network onto a point here. So we're going to make our first point. So we're going to need to make some cores, probably some ender pearls as well. Can I nab some from in here? Oh yeah, there's quite a bit in here. Perfect. So I'll nab some from in there. And points. Let's make our flux cores. We're going to need some eyes of ender. Probably going to need to make more blaze. Definitely do. We have quite a bit of rods at this point, and we are still generating them. And we will make our eyes of ender. Enough to make a few of these, to be honest with you, because you're going to want to make the points here with the cores. So make sure you put your dust in there. So you're going to make the points, and we're going to make the plugs. So point is like this, And a plug is with a flux block, which we can now make easier with just like that. And flux plug looks like this. So we can now hook this into our main network. It doesn't really matter where we put it. I'm just going to put it down over here so it's near our controller. You want to also make sure you're putting down the right one. You want to make sure you put down a plug. Plug is what's going to let you start up your network, basically. So you're going to want to go over to the plus symbol here. That's how you create a new network. So we can just name it, I like to name it main. So just main, you can pick your color for it. Our base has kind of been an orange theme. I don't really ever put a password on it. If you're on a server, you may want to put a password on it. And that should be everything. I'm gonna have to make it public. But we have our main network here. As you can see, it has a transfer limit, so it is at 800,000 RF per tick. You can bypass this limit if you want to, but this should be picking up some stuff. We can also enable our wireless charging. I like to enable it like this, so this will get your curio slots, your armor slots, your hotbar, and your on and off hands. And you want to make sure you enable wireless charging. So we do need to make ourselves a flux controller here. So what we'll do is we'll pop our controller down over here. It doesn't really matter where this is. So we'll select our network here, and this should start doing our wireless charging. So if we take a look at our crafting grid here, it did actually charge it up. So now we do have wireless charging, and we also have the ability with this point here to do cross-dimensional power transfer. So when we are inside of our little compact machine here, we should be able to use these points to power any machines or anything that we do set up in there. The only tricky part is going to be getting our applied energistics or refined storage inside of this cube here. So I'm going to get together the materials needed to make this possible to get our network into this wireless transmitter here, or the compact machine. So we're going to need a network transmitter as well as a network receiver. So this should be both of them. So if you didn't catch the recipe for the other one, it's very similar. Ender pearls are just on the top or on the bottom, depending on which one you're making. And we are going to hook this into our network in some way. But we're going to need to put one inside of here. We preferably can just throw it like in the middle of the room, which should be right here. So this will be the receiver. And we will take our network card and shift right click on it, and that should bind it. And we should be able to go here and hook this in somewhere. It shouldn't really matter where, so I may kind of just throw it over where we got a bunch of cables. I guess we could throw it back over here for now. So network transmitter, and we should be able to put that compact machine card in there, and we should have refined storage inside of this machine here and be able to mess around with it and interact with machines and such. If you notice, I cannot access my wireless transmitter inside of here. This is easily fixable. We can just throw a wireless transmitter on top of here, and we can now access our grid and all of our supplies. So we can craft inside of here and get to all of our storage from within here, which is pretty good. And we're also going to want to make sure we can claim this chunk here. So we should be able to do this and hold shift. And it does fit nicely inside just one chunk. Put together a little design in this room. I set us off a little bit off the floor here so we can run cables and such below if needed. And now it's time to start getting our auto crafts set up, because Power is a heavily intensive crafting mod. So if we take a look, we're going to need to start with the energized steel. So if we bookmark this, the energized steel is made with gold and iron inside of an energizing orb. In order to start with an energizing orb, we can actually just craft one of these. We don't need multiple of them. But let's just take a look at what the recipe is. It's going to start requiring these dielectric casings, as well as these rods and rods horizontally, and nuggets and paste. So we just got to start going through with some patterns. So we need some patterns from we find and starting to make all those small auto crafts. Oh, storage housing. We ran out of glass. Always glass. Patterns that I recommend you guys make if you are trying to follow along with me here would be the iron nuggets, the dielectric paste, the rods vertical as well, the dielectric casings, the smaller capacitors, the larger capacitors. You're probably also going to want to make a redstone block pattern. So we'll throw all of these inside of here, and that should start to make our lives a little bit easier when we go to start crafting these. So if you hold down, so let me just click out of there real quick. So we're going to make the starting rods because I don't believe we can jump into the basics. Yeah, you need the starters first, but we should actually right away make the basic ones. So if it shows blue, like it does here, you can hold control and click, and it should start the auto crafts for the items that you need, and we will start to make these up. I think for now, we will make 9 of them. And you're just going to want to be careful because once you put these in your hotbar, they're going to start to get FE in them if you have the wireless charging like I do. And once they have FE, they're not going to work well with auto crafting in the future when you guys, well, when you try to click them in or whatever you're doing with auto crafting, they won't really work well. So I recommend trying to keep them out of there if you're trying to go for auto crafting. Inside of our compact machine here, I'm going to lay down our cables. I think I'll just lay them around the wall. Looks pretty good. We should have more than enough. These were the basic universal cables that we were using before, basic power cables that we were using before. And we will place down our rods. So as you see, it is actually gaining power right now as it's in my inventory. And I actually want to put 3 per wall, I think. So 1, 2, yeah, 3 per wall for now. We could add more as we go along, but this should do for now. We're going to also need our flux point to get our power into here. So if we take a look at our point, and we throw this just on top of the cable here. Since it's already on our network, usually you would have to select it. It should start giving these power. Hopefully they do. And we can make an energizing orb. So the orb, which is going to require one of these. And we can make this. Do we need glass? We do need glass. So let's go back real quick and grab our glass, which we should have some. Yes. Get back in here. And energizing orb. So, since Power is a progressive mod here, we are going to have to go through these tiers. And the first one is energized steel. So we're going to take iron and we're going to take gold. So we get a stack of iron and gold. And you do need to put these in one at a time. If you overload it, it won't know the recipe that it's making. But as you see there, we did get our energized steel. So this is the first step into power. So yeah, we can't really use a hopper because it will just kind of input everything at once. So what I'm thinking is laser IO. So if we take a look, We can use the laser IO nodes, and they have a special card in here, yeah, right here, the counting filter. This should allow us to put in one item per operation here. So I think laser IO is going to be our good friend with power in this pack. Okay, so the basics of the energizing orb and laser IO. You're going to need these logic chips. They are the basics of these upgrades that we did craft here. So they're pretty simple to make. You smelt them up and you'll get these logic chips, and that's how we were making these item cards and this counting card as well, because you're going to need it for this basic filter. This will allow extraction from the bottom with a hopper. So that should be all good there. And we're going to add our node here. If you look at a specific face of the node, it should select it for you. This UI may be different in different versions of the pack or different packs, depending on what version of the mod is in here. This is an older version, so for now, this should be fine. So we're going to put our item card in here. This is the up, and we're going to set the down as well. We're going to put our barrel on top, if I can, and then we're going to have our lasers showing that everything is connected. In here, we're going to want to make some changes. The top item card, or the one that's selecting the barrel, is going to be set to extract, and the down item card is going to be set to default by insert. And this is where we're going to add our counting card. So you're going to want to put one of each in. So one iron, one gold, and this should allow just 1 and 1 in. So with that, we should be able to test this, and it did. It made us our energized steel. And now this is going into the barrel, and we effectively have automated the first tier of the power automation. So with this effectively automated this way, we should be able to do it the same way for each one of the tiers here, going up through all the way to nitro. That way we can get our power situation pretty stable. This mod can be a little daunting, but it is very powerful. It can handle redstone, it can handle fluids, it can handle everything. As long as it's connected to the block, it is able to transfer it. So you may be seeing more of this in the future. We may even set up more of these compact machines to do each stage of the upgrades here. One quick last thing I wanted to show here. With this setup, we actually are even automated or set up to automate this with our refined storage. So we can set up a crafter over here. So let's just grab ourselves some blocks and throw these down. And a crafter over here with a refined storage cable coming up from the bottom, and an exporter. These things are always a pain to place. And an exporter in the bottom barrel there will be everything we need really to get this automated. So we can just pull the cable up through the bottom and bring it into our crafter, and we can just throw an exporter down on this. I think we're going to need to craft one. We will. Always a construction core. Should just name this series Crafting Construction Cores. And we should be able to... actually, it's not even an exporter we need an importer. There we go. Now we need a few things. Like I was saying, an importer into this with the cable should be all we need to hook this all up. That kind of looks a little funky, but that's fine because it's going to be hidden below here. And that should be all we need to effectively start to see that go into there. And since that is chunk loaded in there, we can go into here and we can craft ourselves a pattern. Fine pattern. And we can make a pattern for energized steel. And And if we use the energizing ore pattern, we can go back into our machine here. We can get the pattern in here, and we should be able to request out some more. I believe you can hit Control Shift and yeah, Control Shift and there. So let's see if we can request 10 more. So it should start filling that, and yes, we can. So it will start filling this barrel and exporting our energized steel, which we have now on demand. And with that, we are coming to the end of today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this series here. And if you are, a like would really be appreciative. If you guys are learning anything at all, or have any comments about what I can improve on, definitely throw them down below. It definitely would help me out a lot. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.